Hi, Aerial Flight Advisor here, and here's the start of the playthrough part of the tutorial. Anyway, first I'm showing this screen, unlike what I usually do, because I want to show you a couple things here. First, under Game Settings Summary, go to Advanced Settings. Make sure that the battle pace speed skill factor is very fast, otherwise you're going to have a very long game, because you'll be doing that quite a bit. Victory conditions, you can set them to whatever flavor you want, but I'm going to leave all of them on. Also, I'm going to be doing this on serious difficulty. You don't have to do that. World map summary, also advanced settings here. Make sure you have many rivers, because rivers are a great thing to start by. You'll find yourself probably re-rolling your starts once you get more comfortable with the game, so you have a river. And personally, I always like to have anomaly odds on many, which is good for a newbie because you get to learn what they all look like a bit sooner. Plus it also adds quite a bit of nice flavor to the game. Lots of pretty things to look at. Also, here is where you'd be able to put in a seed value, and I'll be telling you the seed value for my game too, so you can play along if you want. Anyway, applying those settings, going to start the game. I'll see you guys in just a second. So here we have the start. There's no river here, which means I'm going to keep the hero in my army where it will be useful as a healer. There's a lot of interesting spots I might go to here. First, since I'm the dragon, I already know where everyone is, just as some examples. So if I zoom out, I actually will know where their capitals are, which can be really nice for a domination victory of any sort. Let's see. So I'm really close to the necrophages actually. That might be a bit of a concern, because you can't be peaceful with them and they're a bit hard to attack. Then again, so am I. So we're going to clear that out then. And also, to see the seed, go to escape. There it is down the bottom left. 100-480-3564. Okay. I'll post it up as a little text bubble as well. So I already see there's a bunch of really neat spots where I might want to expand to. Normally you can split the army out by clicking an individual unit and then sending it on its merry way. And that will be good if you have no idea where to go. But in this case I think I already do. So in the bottom right here, if you click that teeny little hexagon button there, it'll give you a overview of which tiles provide what kind of resources. There's no ruins nearby, which a dragon would get an influence boost from, but there's quite a lot of all sorts of other good stuff. Now, I have to think though, where do I want to set my city? If you hover over where you want to put it, it'll give you a tile output. Oh man, I'm going to be missing out on the science a bit. But look at the growth rate on that one. Jeez. So that's a fantastic spot. Don't need that anymore, turning it off. Gonna combine this guy back into the army. Sometimes you want to keep them split up, but in this case, in case I get attacked, especially since the necrophages are right over to my right, I'm going to keep everyone together. So first things first, move citizens around. I like to put them on industry to start out with, especially because it's going to grow in 2 turns anyway, even if I have it on food or something else. And I always start out with the Founder's Memorial, with the exception of maybe, say, when I'm playing as the Broken Lords, in which case I'll start with the Mint first. For tax, definitely want Mill Foundry, definitely want Public Library. Going to ignore this because there's not really any water sources nearby. You kind of have to have them nearby for that to be worth it. And this one too, because you need to have tiles with science on it, and there's not that many nearby. Also going to grab the food building, waiting on the strategic resource and luxury resource text until I can see what's in my region. One thing you can see in the city here is in the top left-ish, there'll be question mark icons. Question marks indicate that you haven't discovered the resource yet. Same thing with up here, it'll show you how many villages for a minor faction will be nearby. I'll talk about them a bit more later. So, another thing we have to do on turn 1, it's a very busy turn. Settler edit it so it has a little speed charm. Dragonling, give him the speed charm as well, and give him some tier 1 armor. Now, they won't automatically occur that way because I have to spend some dust to upgrade them, and I'll worry about the hero later because he's going to cost dust as well. I think that's everything I can do for tier 1 really, so let's keep going. It's going to trigger the faction quest in a second, which is going to be tweaked as of March 18th, so this is going to be showing an older version of it. But it's mostly going to tweak the end. I don't think I'm going to worry about getting that far. So here we have the faction quest. Now I'm feeling up for reading it, so it's story time. She extends her wings, stretching her muscles. The gesture has replaced a simple smile, as she learned from the trip that a dragon smile induces terror, not harmony. Kahangana is content. The city has been founded, and this first step of her duty responsibly executed. They are far from Dragonhome, but that, she believes, was the will of the 12. Had it been her sister, Propahini, things would have been different. They would have halted a scant few days from Dragonhome. Propahini would be too concerned with distance from tradition, and not enough with movement towards future. The 12 were wise to choose Kahangana first. And this is especially true now, with signs of change so heavy in the air. What to make not just of the longer winters and the earthquakes, but also something close to home, the birth of those they call dragonlings. Why do the eggs that only ever produced dragon now produce these things? Why now? Many confusing signs seem to appear and accelerate. Whatever the answer may be, it is certain that involves change, and Propahini is ill-equipped to deal with that. The first city beyond Dragonhome will be their hand extended towards the other peoples of Auriga. It is a difficult project, and Kahangana fears that it will perhaps be too quickly show the strains that lie beneath the surface of their alternating diarchy. Regardless of her own worries, however, she will press on, not merely because it is the will of the 12, but also because it is the best hope for Auriga. So, goal of the quest, level up 2 Dragonling units to level 2, and I get some gold, which is a luxury resource. I'll be able to spend that, and save on some of my production costs a little bit. Or more, what would they call it? Maintenance costs, actually. I might want to save that a bit, because it wouldn't really make sense to use that early in the game, but I'm not also not going to get the level 2 Dragonlings right away. So first things first, hero's going to get the speed charm. That does not automatically mean the army speeds up though. The army will only move as fast as its slowest unit. So along with exploring my region to see what sorts of resources are in here, I'm going to want to try to find an external one, which seems to be mostly to my north and my west, to go to. And actually, if there's an ocean between the necrophage and me, then that's not going to be so bad. Okay, so an empowerment, then a settler. You'll want to expand approximately every 20 turns or so, at least in the early game. This is standard speed, by the way. So stomping about... Oh, this quest. 20 influence. Where to? Oh, north. Good, because I'd want to go north anyway. Oh, there's my luxury. I have emeralds. So I'm going to want both of those then, because I'm starting out with both a strategic and both a luxury, at least one of each. If I can follow along that quest path for the little ruin huntings, that would be good too, because I'd get some pretty nice stuff from that. Hero level up, okay. Plus 5 defense on units, awesome. Not going to buy the building though, because I want to upgrade the units. The minor factions are not really going to become a problem until around turn 20, because they only get active around that time. But I still want to be prepared just in case. Okay, Mill Foundry is just about done, and yeah, science is hurting a little bit, just a bit. So I'm going to want to consider, as soon as I can, throwing some citizens into science. But starting out, I'm going to want to focus on food and industry. Use a hero-led army to search the next location, which is all the way over there. If I can get around, that's not going to be a problem, but I don't have boat technology yet. That could be a peninsula. Whether or not I can get all the way around is a good question, though. Ooh, spices. Ooh, that would be a good spot to expand to. Very nice spot. The spices will give a food boost when I use them. So I definitely want to get those. Just exploring. Normally I'd want to keep an army nearby to escort the settler, but because of the minor faction thing I mentioned before, it should actually be safe to move them into position on their own. Meeting more minor factions, by the way. I haven't really seen anyone too interesting yet. More spices here. Oh yeah, this is definitely the peninsula, good. And that's going to give me Titan bones if I remember correctly. This is a quest list. Yes, Titan bones, 10 of them too, so I can get an early boost to my industry. No, never mind, that's an island. Wait, no, it could still be a peninsula. It's worth it. Going around that far is worth it for Titan bones. They can be very powerful actually in early game. That could give me a boost I need. I'm feeling that this is... yeah, probably not. Unless... Oh? I'd be surprised if I got there on time at this point. But hey, I get to expand. Anywhere next to those two would be good. So, yep, keep going. It's pretty slow to start for the early game. Oh, that depends. Can I find this? Well, actually, at this point, I'm not going to find it in time. And yeah, that's definitely an island. Okay, so what should I do over here? That'll give me some much needed science if I put it right on the cliff. And also, it's a good defensive thing because if somebody was to attack me, they can only siege me from these two tiles right now. Anything else is blocked by that cliff. You'll be seeing a lot more of that later in the game. Of course, I need to set the city to do something. That's too much of a hit to the food. I'm going to keep it on there until the city grows at least. And buy the mill foundry so it builds nice and quickly. Okay, they're happy because I'm peaceful, so... Wait, where is Orange in relation to me? Oh, pretty close by. And they start kind of squishy because they're glass cannony units. And they kind of steamroll after a while with the science aspects, so I might want to take them out first. They're conveniently close enough. And the necrophage are across the sea, so I'm not really too worried about them. Okay, going for this one next. This one's interesting. Remember those flag pillars for the manual combat video? That adds 2 more of those. So I get 2 more reinforcement positions, and that can make or break a battle. Going to go for a library, then another settler. Going to get an empire plan in a turn, but I have plenty for a first empire plan thing there. Because it starts out as 20 per city for the first tier, and then it goes up by 20 for each city you add. So one thing you must think about at least early on is if you do expand before turn 20, which you should, that you still have 40 influence points, so that you can put it somewhere in here. Now you think, oh sure, more dust. No. +3 dust per citizen on cities means per citizen assigned to it on cities. I currently don't have any, so that's not going to be worth it. However, I totally have the science going, and that doesn't really require any population assignments. So I'm going for that. Get a much needed boost. Later on I'm going to want to consider the dust, but until I have people assigned to it, not really worth it. Gonna need to explore the rest of my region here and see what's to my west. So quest failed because I couldn't get to the island. Poor little dragonlings cannot swim. And now the minor factions are active, so they're going to put these little armies on the map, kind of like barbarians in Civ. But interacting with them is a bit more interesting. So they're going to attack. I'm just going to auto it. No problems there. So, big difference here is you can bribe the villages and attack them like you might assume. And also parley. Parley is the best option if you can get to it because it will automatically make all villages in the region friendly if you complete the quest. Great if there's 3. And sometimes those quests give you really, really awesome rewards. Let's see. Bring back 10 titanium, and that will pacify them. Okay, so I don't really get any rewards for doing that besides the pacification. But at the same time, that's a fairly easy one to complete, and it saves me some trouble trying to kill them all. And if there's another village in here too, and I end up colonizing it, that's going to save me some time there. Also, each pacified village that's built... Oops. Not sure what happened there. That's actually relatively uncommon, don't get discouraged by that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, each village that's pacified and built in your region will give you an extra population for your city. So that's something else that you can assign to work, say, dust. So these guys are attacking, just gonna do what I did before. Dragonlings are level 2, so that quest is gonna finish in just a second.